midnight drearies.
Curse of the Kitchen Witch. In the quaint town of Grimwood, nestled amidst rolling hills and dense forests, lived Parabelle Beatrix Jeffersonia, a woman with an uncanny talent for creating the most delectable preserves and wine. She was known far and wide as the Kitchen Witch, and her creations were nothing short of magical. Parabelle had an air of mystery about her, often seen wearing a faded apron adorned with curious symbols as she tended to her garden and worked her culinary spells. At the local Grimwood Farmers Market, Parabelle's booth stood out, laden with rows of glistening jars of preserves and bottles of rich velvety wine. Her Concord grape preserves were the stuff of legend, said to be infused with her mystical energy. She had won countless blue ribbons at the county fair, earning the envy and admiration of her fellow townsfolk. One fateful summer, a new family arrived in Grimwood. The Harrisons were a rude and abrasive bunch. Their ill-mannered children caused trouble wherever they went, and they took an immediate disliking to Parabelle. They sneered at her from afar, calling her the kooky cook and the old hag of the preserves. Parabelle's once tranquil life was now marred by the Harrisons' presence. The townspeople whispered of their disdain, wondering how anyone could be so ungrateful to the woman who had blessed Grimwood with her extraordinary creations. One evening, Parabelle hatched a plan to extend an olive branch to the Harrisons, hoping to mend fences and put an end to the animosity. Under the cover of night, she prepared a lavish gift basket filled with her finest preserves, wine, and an assortment of other treats. She placed it on the Harrisons' doorstep, hoping her gesture of goodwill would pave the way for harmony. The next morning, the sun bathed the Harrison residence in warm light, revealing the gift basket that had mysteriously appeared. The family was taken aback, their rude demeanor momentarily softened. They decided to use the preserves to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, blissfully unaware of the enchantment woven within. As the Harrisons assembled their sandwiches, the Concord grape preserves came to life with a malevolent force. The mixture began to bubble and churn, its dark hue deepening as it transformed into a gelatinous pulsating mass. The once innocent peanut butter and jelly sandwiches became conduits for Parabelle's magic, and the room was consumed by a swirling vortex of purple energy. Suddenly, the preserves monster erupted from the sandwiches, its tendrils stretching and twisting into a life-size jelly creature. With a chilling whisper, it repeated the haunting refrain,
"Time to feed the children!"
The family watched in terror as the monster lunged at them, its gelatinous body oozing and quivering with unnatural life. Panic-stricken, the Harrisons scrambled to evade the monstrous entity that pursued them through their own home. The once cozy rooms became a nightmarish labyrinth as they desperately sought refuge. The jelly monster, relentless in its pursuit, seemed to feed off their fear, growing larger and more menacing with every passing moment. The family's cries echoed through the house as they were driven to the brink of exhaustion. With every corner they turned, the monster was there, its relentless mantra driving them closer to the edge.
"Time to feed the children!"
The Harrisons were trapped in a deadly dance with the embodiment of their own unkindness, a malevolent creation born from their rudeness. Just as it seemed the Harrisons were doomed to be consumed by their own fateful, hateful, fearful, fruitful creation, Parabelle burst into the house. With a wave of her hand, she chanted incantations that resonated with ancient power. The jelly monster convulsed and shrank, its form gradually dissolving into a puddle of sticky residue. As it dissipated, with a gurgling groan, its last words were,
"No! We need to feed the children!"
The house fell silent, the malevolent presence finally vanished. Parabelle fixed the Harrisons with a stern gaze, her eyes ablaze with a supernatural fire. She admonished them for their rudeness and lack of gratitude, warning them that their actions had summoned the curse they had faced. The family listened, chastened by their harrowing ordeal. In the aftermath of the ordeal, the Harrisons were forever changed. They came to realize the gravity of their actions and the consequences of their rudeness. Determined to mend their ways, they apologized to Parabel and the townsfolk, pledging to be kind and more considerate. Grimwood slowly returned to its peaceful state, well, at least as peaceful as a nexus of otherworldly cosmic horrors can be, the memory of the cursed jelly monster serving as a reminder of the power of negativity and the importance of compassion. Parabel, the kitchen witch, continued to enchant her preserves and wine, but her creations were now sought after not only for their exquisite taste but also for the lessons they carried. Her street cred in occult circles skyrocketed. The curse of the kitchen witch had been a cautionary tale, a reminder that one's actions can have far-reaching consequences. As for Parabel, she returned to her garden and her culinary magic, watching over Grimwood with a watchful eye and a heart filled with both power and empathy.